Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my Week 14 preview of CFL action. We got 4 games coming up, including my Bombers getting off their bye week playing a game. But we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with BC versus Hamilton. All right, I feel like this will be a little bit of a strange game, mainly because the thing is that who's going to play defense this game? Because if we look at last week, we saw that neither team really played that great defensively in either game. So I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game, but defense is going to absolutely determine the winner of this game just because both teams are going to be running up the score clock on each other. So at that point, it just kind of puts you in this weird state of limbo of, who's going to do it? I think it's going to be BC. I think it's going to be close, though. I think BC will take this, though. I think Riley's going to have a good game. I'm hoping that Whitehead can finally come back right into that stardom where he was, before he got that, I think it was a wrist injury? It was either a hand or wrist injury, something like that, when he played against Bombers. But anyways, I'll go into our next game, which is Saskatchewan versus Edmonton. All right, so now that Edmonton has them, do they play Arbuckle or do they stick with Cornelius? I mean, that's kind of the question that we had for Montreal. Would they play Schultz or Harris? They eventually put Harrison at the end of the game, but it was kind of a little bit too little too late. So I wonder if Edmonton's going to try to learn from that mistake, put an Arbuckle at the start of the game, see how that goes against Fajardo and the Roughriders. However, I predict that this is not going to go very well for Edmonton. I think Edmonton's kind of going to get stomped in this game. I think that the Saskatchewan D-line is going to shut down anything that either Cornelius or Arbuckle tries to start. I don't think that will make a difference. And I think Fajardo in this game is going to kind of experiment. It's getting close to that time where it's going to be going into playoffs. And as we saw last year with the Rough Riders in their game against the Bombers and whatnot, they needed to take a few more chances and they needed to be successful on them. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see this game and we're going to see Fajardo going for some long bombs just to try to get used to them, get in that rhythm, make sure he can get it exactly right now, because this is a game that Saskatchewan is going to win regardless. They won't lose to Edmonton. So I think it's a safe game where Saskatchewan can try out some things so that way if they need it come playoff time, they can execute it and get it done. So I wouldn't be surprised if Saskatchewan does that. So anyways, that'll bring us into our next game, which is Toronto versus Ottawa. This is going to be a weird game. I'm telling you right now. I feel like Ottawa's going to put up a fight. I think they're going to lose, like they tend to do so. But I think they're going to put up a bigger fight than people are expecting. I'm hoping that Bethel Thompson has a great game and really kind of has like that breakout game where you really see this guy start to show his true skill as a QB. Because up to right now, he's been all right. He hasn't been bad, but, it's kind of making a name for himself. I think that'll be an important thing if he really wants to be the starting QB for the entirety of next season. Because that's really got to be the goal for Bethel Thompson here, is to really show the Argonauts that he's the number one guy. So I wonder, I kind of hope that he has a really good game here. But I think the Ottawa defense, they looked decent last game. I think they're really going to turn it up this game up to 11. I think they're going to slow the Toronto offense. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, a very slow game. And I think it's going to be a very close game. And I think that Toronto is just going to squeak through with this one against Ottawa. I don't know why. It doesn't make exactly a ton of sense just because there's a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, the Redblacks are going to win nothing. I'm like, yeah, I know, but they're going to have a good game here and there where they're at least able to put up a fight. So I don't know, just a gut feeling. But anyways, I'll get into our last one, which is Montreal versus Winnipeg. Winston Rose is back. The Bombers have their new kicker. The Bombers have absolutely everything they need. Now, Winston Rose, I know for sure is playing. I'm not sure if their kicker is going to be in. You gotta think so. Because Mortada, I'm sorry, you're not it. Leggio, I'm sorry, you're not it. So I can't imagine they don't put this guy in. So, Montreal, have you learned your lesson? Are you going to play Trevor Harris the full game? I think they have to. Because after seeing how they finally had some sort of success when they took out Schultz and put Trevor Harris in there, but it was too little too late, I can't imagine the Alouettes don't learn from this. I can't imagine it. However, Montreal was like I think Winnipeg's going to get another shutout today. I really think they will. Or not today, but in this game. I think that, especially if Schultz plays, Winnipeg's shutting out the game. They will. Because Montreal struggled to get points last week. They struggled. And now against the Bomber defense, who just had a bye week, I don't see how Montreal really stands a chance here. Unless they put in Harris. If they put in Harris, they have a fighting chance. I think they'll do decent. I think Bombers would win by roughly 15 points-ish. But if they play Schultz, they're screwed. And that is absolutely no offense to Schultz, but it's when they put in Harris, it wasn't just your QB who is now better. Harris was making the guys around him better. So I'm not sure if it was a better communication or if it's just the guys getting a little bit amped up as they got this, this great QB behind them and it makes them want to do something to stand out for this guy. But that's entirely possible. But yeah, I think Winnipeg's going to win by roughly 15 points, like I already said. And yeah, that's my predictions for Week 14. Make sure you check out the Jets game reaction coming tonight. It'll be we're gonna have live reactions. We're gonna be at the game. I'm at the game with Peg City Hockey and Hot Garbage Sports. We're gonna be probably streaming a little bit while we're there. And then obviously on Saturday tomorrow we got the Bomber game. So stay tuned for that. So that will be all. So. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time.